This is a walk for reconciliation and against racism. To this day, Tacoma does not have a Chinatown. But today, we will reverse that 1885 route of expulsion and take back the city of Tacoma for the Chinese, as well as every other immigrant, refugee, and heritage community who has known racism in our city.
I think this is really important because it's American history, it's Tacoma history. We need to remember what happened, and given all the anti-immigrant sentiment that's going around, we have to remind people of how dangerous that is and what could happen if we don't stop it.
Today we declare that our aspiration is for Tacoma to be a welcoming city in which everyone has a place. And we commit ourselves to pursuing that aspiration and making sure that every community has a place at the table, that all have a voice to tell their truth, their story. And through this pursuit of this aspiration, we hope that reconciliation will come.
Today, we are gathered here to honor the history and the contributions from Chinese community. We also here stand united against racism and promoting healing in our society. The walk for our destination is Chinese Reconciliation Park. And the park is a beautiful place, but also a symbol of hope, resilience, and testament to our joint journey toward understanding, healing, and unity. As we walk side by side today, let's celebrate the strength of our diverse community and the bonds that connects us all.
I think learning from our past is the best way not to repeat it in the future. I just want to thank the Chinese Reconciliation Park and the board members and everybody who has created the park and who shepherds the park for the work that they have done to keep on doing this, and to thank all of you to be here. It might be a little bit hard to be here in the rain, but as Teresa reminded us, or our earlier speaker, it was a rainy day when this happened the first time. And so I think it's helpful to us to think about that as we walk in the rain, and hopefully for us the rain will be cleansing and a way to, when we get to the Reconciliation Park, to celebrate some of the work that we will continue to do to reconcile in all the ways described. So,
working with the foundation is very important to me. I am very much in support of a diverse community. I feel we are enriched in every aspect of our lives by being surrounded with people who look and believe and think differently than ourselves. I also have a daughter who was adopted from China 26 years ago, and fairness and equality has always been important to me, but even much more so now because I have a diverse family, and I just believe that every community should celebrate and enjoy and appreciate the gifts that other cultures bring us in the city of Tacoma.
Well, good day to all of you, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lorna Hernandez-Jarvis, Vice President of Institutional Equity and Diversity at the University of Puget Sound. And it's really an honor, not just for me, but I believe from all of our students, to be part of this reflection, because this is really what this is, an opportunity for all of us to remember the harm that we can cause on each other, and to reflect on how we can change that. As our speakers have said, there is a lot of tension, hate still going on in our world and certainly in our country. And it is on us to think about, as I look at all these signs, to think about kindness, about reconciliation, about peace, and what is our role in bringing that back to our communities. And it starts here, right? In always remembering, not forgetting the harm and the history and knowing how to change that. And I look at all these young faces and I look at the future, and I'm so happy to see that they're here because these are the future of our community. So thank you for being here and for reflecting on this day.
I mean, I'm a student in UPS, and I didn't learn the history of like in the past, like what happened in Tacoma, until I met Professor Perry, and you know, I didn't look into the history, and then I realized, wow, there's this expel that happened in the 80s, and then I was like, yeah, I had to do something, and then here I am.
Our walk is led by Chinese lion dancers whose traditional job is to drive away evil spirits and usher in a time of new beginnings. We begin at Union Station, which the Chinese pioneers marched past on their way out of town. We will proceed north through downtown Tacoma, past the sites of the former Chinatown and Japantown, to the Chinese Reconciliation Park, the site of Tacoma's public statement of apology, of remembrance, and of fierce determination to make Tacoma a new city of destiny for all its diverse communities.
An event like this is important for our city because we're unifying against hatred of the past, and we're unifying with love, and we're hoping to bridge this gap of hatred with love and heal some of the pain of the past.
This is an important event for Tacoma because the history of the Chinese Reconciliation Park and what led up to that becoming a park as a reminder of who we are as a people, what we've done as a people, and how we need to correct what we've done. A person who never recognizes the evil that they've done continues to repeat that. And I think it's clear that Tacoma, at many levels, has found what we've done is wrong and has started to make steps to correct that. But as I was just talking to my friend a moment ago, if we find a way to find the lowest common denominator in who we are and to be reactive and to be a part of a mob, we can repeat that. So I think it's very important that we remember we all have the potential for becoming a mob, and we all have the potential for resisting that and showing the humanity that we need to have. So I am convinced that the Chinese Reconciliation Project is the most important thing Tacoma has to do to change the narrative about what we've done and how we're going to do better. Thank you.
This is important for Tacoma because we as a community need to stand together and make a statement and realize how important at this time with a lot of political, cultural, and settlement, and we need to especially show our young generation that what does it mean to be united, to reconcile, to look back into history and learn from it.
I've participated in different rallies before around racism, and the message that I really like about this, especially in this time period and in this climate, is what Teresa said today about reconciliation, which involves acceptance and tolerance and understanding. Cultures are so different, people are so different. And instead of making quick judgments or stereotypes, it's important to understand, try to understand where people are coming from, and try to get along. That's part of why I do the drumming. Drumming is that way for me because there's a really strong Japanese American and Asian American history around taiko drumming. But it's appealing to so many people because it's so loud, it's so strong, it's so powerful, and it's a voice. And so particularly for Asian American women, that was a big deal.
scale, like whether we play D, G, or F scale. It's different positions on the instrument. And then instead of using letters, we use numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which represents do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And that's how we play it.
Today in Tacoma, we gather to honor the intellect, the beauty, but most of all, the courage of the Chinese people, their past and their future. The Chinese Reconciliation Park and the Chinese community are linked together as one, and we are all the beneficiaries of that union of the Chinese Reconciliation Park and the Chinese people. I cannot be more emphatic about the need for us to work together, to be tolerant, to expand our scope and make sure that this election does not define us for the next 10, 15, 20 years, or maybe the rest of our natural lives, or change the trajectory of this country. Thank you all very much for allowing me to participate.
I'm delighted to be here today. I'm so grateful to spend the day with all of you and to have spent the morning and walk with you. I don't know if there's a better cause that we can champion. And I just have to say, y'all are hardcore coming together and walking 2.5 miles in the rain. I wasn't sure what to expect today. This is my first time walking with this group. And it will be one of many, because I simply can't imagine spending our morning in a better way. And so today we're talking about racism. And let me be clear here. Racism is a disease. Racism is a structural and violent disease that seems to plague every institution, our workplace, the media, our relationships, and it moves amongst us and seems to grow amidst spaces of fear. And so, as we fall prey to those who attempt to divide us, we walk and we stand against racism together. So I have to just invite you to take a moment to consider, how are you called to stand and to take action against systemic racism? How are you called into allyship when there's someone around you who experiences racism? Can we do that? Can we take a moment? Can we all think about something? Because this work is going to require us to take true effort, right? It's one thing, I love this walk, I love this conversation, but it really requires us to do something different tomorrow. And understanding, it requires us to be vulnerable, right? To get ourselves out of that comfort zone. And so today I invite you to recommit yourself to the stand against racism, to your willingness to be vulnerable for the safety of someone else. So can we do that? Can we commit ourselves against racism today?
Yes.
Yes. Can we take a stand against racism today? Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for your heart, for making the time for this conversation, and for taking a stand against racism. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.